Hey Jeff, I bought a new shirt today.
Where is it?
It's this one.
Oh. It's very attractive.
Oh. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to a rainy sermon from the Cigar pulpit.
Apparently it's the monsoon season here in Southern Illinois.
I'm the Bishop of the Burn, Nick, and with me, as always,
It's Gator.
So, we are currently recording this episode in my garage because we cannot use my deck because it is very rainy.
It is.
The rains moved in about 3 hours ago. We had hoped that maybe they would subside in time for us to
It has not.
sit out and enjoy a smoke and get this episode recorded for you, but it has not.
It's actually good it's raining. There have been lots of fire advisories and whatnot. No burn orders and such.
Well, okay, then
It's been very dry.
I was not aware.
Yes. So this is probably a gift from God that we needed. Just saying.
Okay, then.
Yeah.
All right.
But maybe not while we're recording.
No.
But at some point we needed it.
I mean,
better late than never.
I'm good with overnight, not
during
at night.
Yes.
Yeah. So, anyway,
But it sounds delightful in the headphones.
I mean, I'll be curious to see what it sounds like in the actual episode.
Yeah.
It's just that water dripping constantly.
It can't be worse than that woman screaming at the Cigar Festival a couple of weeks ago.
That's true.
I mean, we were basically recording with her just standing over screaming at us the whole time.
It was a little loud.
A little bit. She was in the other room and it was loud.
It's true.
Yeah,
It
crazy.
was a little loud.
So I think we can take a little water trickling.
All right. So tonight, we will be featuring the interview that we had with Oscar Valladares at the Weston Tobacco Fest. And so in honor of that, we decided that we would smoke a couple of Oscar cigars. So, I have chosen to smoke one of Oscar's new cigars, the Wild Hunter. And I'm smoking the Wild Hunter Toro. And this measures 6x52, and it's all Honduran, folks, from wrapper to binder to filler. This is a 100% Honduran cigar. You've probably seen it in the humidor at your store. It's the one that has the Hunter Orange letters and everything, and the kind of camo forest scene going on the band and in the box. So
It's very cool. I've had a couple of those. They're good cigars.
we will see, won't we?
Now, I, my friend, went with the Leaf by Oscar, which Nick keeps pointing out to me that isn't really an Oscar cigar.
It is an Oscar cigar.
But his name's on it.
It's just he teamed with Island Jim to bring it out in the United States. This is the one, folks, that when you see it in the store, instead of having a cellophane wrapper, it's got that tobacco leaf wrapper. So,
And I hope you don't mind, Nick. I went ahead and removed that so it wouldn't be loud tonight.
really? The one that won't be loud, you took off in advance. Of course you did.
I knew that would infuriate you.
Anyway.
So it is a Connecticut, and I am looking forward to it. I love this cigar, and I'm hoping it proves out again tonight. But it's almost creamy to the taste.
Well, then we will go ahead and look into that.
Good stuff.
So, it's time that we cut our cigar and get rolling into the show. And I just missed the ashtray with the cap there, so that was...
He literally has an ashtray that is basically made out of a dicey hollowed out. This is the smallest ashtray I've ever seen. You own 37 ashtrays, and that's what you brought out?
Well, unfortunately, the majority of my ashtrays are at my office. The big one that I have at the house is back on the deck table, and I believe is currently full of water right now. So rather than get that and clean it and wash it,
we
and
can play
everything
craps
else,
later too.
I just grabbed the little dice one that Laura brought back from Vegas for me.
We're looking for snake eyes.
I think it's technically for cigarettes.
I don't even know if a whole cigar, but I don't even know if I can tap an ash in that.
Well, I mean, you're going to have to try.
It's like a thimble.
I get it.
It's cute.
It is cute.
It was nice of Laura to get it for you.
I mean, it was.
Yeah.
You know,
It's very small.
supporting the smoking habit.
It really is. And it's not, you're right, it's not made for cigars.
No, it's made for cigarettes. You can tell.
Well, that'll work.
So, okay, so we're going to go ahead and light our cigars now. See what we get. Holy crap, Jeff! Evidently, Jeff has a industrial blowtorch over there to light his cigar. Folks, I am really not joking. That is a solid 2-foot flame. I mean, that is a solid 2-foot blue. How many jets is that? How many? I mean, it's all condensing into one giant flame. That is a 4-jet lighter.
How have you never seen that before?
Did you just got that?
No, I've had that forever.
Bull.
No, swear to God.
I have never seen you break that thing out.
Hand to God. Look, the sticker's even coming off. I've had this thing forever.
Seriously?
How have you never noticed that?
Have you really?
Yeah.
I have never seen that thing before in my life. You're lying to me.
You should get a picture of it.
You're totally lying to me. Oh my God, that is so obscenely obnoxious. That is, I mean, that puts my blazer and just puts it to shame. I mean, completely to shame.
I use this all the time.
You never have a lighter. So you can't tell me that you use that all the time. You always have to borrow mine.
Yeah, I keep it in the Jeep.
I've never seen that thing before. That is the most obnoxiously large lighter. I mean, God. I'm telling you, folks, industrial blowtorch. That is the best description I have for it here. He has got himself a welder torch to light his cigar.
I've tickled myself.
Oh, Lord.
Just the look on your face when I broke it out.
So, folks, when I do put up pictures from tonight's episode on Instagram, please pardon the fact that it looks like we're recording this in a hoarder house. In reality,
I'm not sure we're not.
In reality, we're recording in my garage, which desperately, desperately needs to be cleaned out.
Okay, so Nick, we were discussing earlier what we're going to talk about tonight.
It's true.
Let's talk. Okay, hold on. Let's
Okay.
talk about our cigars for a second, and then I have a topic. Speaking of your hoarder house, that I want to get into.
Oh, God, we're about to out me as a nerd.
We're gonna delve.
I almost feel this coming. So, my cigar initially is a very interesting combination of pepper and creaminess. The Wild Hunter. It's a sharp kind of pepper taste that hits initially, kind of wakes up the senses. How much touching up do you need to do with that thing? I mean, you're cauterizing the wound with it, Jeff.
I've never seen you this triggered.
I've never seen a flame that large coming from any of your lighting devices before. Anyway.
How have you never seen that lighter?
I don't know. But I haven't.
I use that all the time.
All right, well, we've spent 10 minutes on your stupid lighter now, so. Anyway, like I said.
I knew the minute I got that thing out, it was going to trigger the hell out of
Like
you.
I said, I get a nice pepper taste right off the bat, but it goes to a real creaminess in the beginning part of this cigar. So, what about you?
And that's where I'm at with this. I mean, like I said earlier, these cigars are creamy. I'm used to them. I love them. It's just a great smoke.
I'm liking this.
Yeah, this is, well, you know that. The Leaf's one of my top 5.
Oh, I know the Leaf's one of your top cigars.
So, yeah, I mean, if I had a chance to smoke a Leaf, I was going to smoke a Leaf. So.
There you go.
Thank you, Oscar. Or whoever the hell makes it.
Oscar makes it.
Okay. See, it is an Oscar cigar, then.
Island Jim is involved in the mix.
Well, I'm so confused.
Anyway.
So, now that we've got the cigar information out of the way on our cigar podcast.
Here we go.
Nick, what the hell is up with the comic books?
I like comic books.
Folks, I don't even know how to explain. He's got a card catalog.
I don't have a card catalog. The boxes are labeled.
Yes.
Somewhat.
They're arranged by height and popularity. It's kind of disturbing.
Oh, no, they're not.
The fact that you have the DC Comics that close to the Marvel Comics really triggers me as a nerd.
Well, they gotta, be I mean, I don't
No, you do not put those together.
I don't want them out in the garage. That bothers me just myself. They should be inside the house somewhere. The problem is there's just entirely too many of them for me to bring inside the house.
How many comic books do you own?
Actually, It's funny you ask.
Oh my God.
I have an app on my phone that I have them in an inventory. I know. It's a database.
Oh my God.
It's optimizing.
You are a bigger nerd than I thought you were.
I'm trying to open it, but
I thought you were a big nerd.
It's optimizing right now. So give me just a second. I'll be able to tell you. Now, in all fairness, this total is not complete. There have been some purchases lately that I haven't scanned in yet. So we probably need to
You have an electronic card catalog. You just admitted that. You realize that, right?
I know.
Okay.
Well, I don't know where they're at necessarily. I mean, I kind of do because they are alphabetical within those boxes. Hence the reason the boxes are numbered.
Oh my God.
Anyway,
folks, seriously, how many boxes are there?
Well, okay, so 5 per shelf. There's what 6 shelves per metal shelf. So that's what 30, 60. Not quite 90. There's what 85 short boxes out here and another 3 long boxes out here. And then I think there's probably
how many are in a box?
6 short boxes inside my office, inside the house. So we're probably at about 91 to 92 short boxes and 3 long boxes.
And how many are in each box?
I couldn't necessarily tell you that either.
There's at least 100
off the top of my head. But I will tell you that within my little phone database, the current count, and again, this is a little off because there have been some purchases lately that I have not scanned in. I'm currently sitting at 13,462.
Holy God.
You got to remember, I have been collecting comics since I was 5. So, in one form or another, I've been buying these things since I was 5 years old. And I've gone through spells where I bought significantly more than other times. Like, I'm not really buying that many of them now.
Define many.
I think I'm down to like 5 series that I follow with any sort of regularity.
Where are the Archies?
I have a few. I have the Afterlife with Archie series that they did. That was a fantastic series. They added the horror element in with the Archie people.
Is that the one where Archie was the serial killer?
No, it's the one where Reggie hit and killed Jughead's dog with the car. And so Jughead took the dog,
jacked up.
Took the dog to Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and she did like a spell to bring it back. So
wait, is Sabrina part of the Archie world?
It is. She is.
Back up.
Swear to God. So Sabrina does this spell on Jughead's dog, but what she doesn't realize is it made Jughead's dog essentially patient zero for the zombie apocalypse. And so when the dog...
That's to be expected.
Well, I know, right? When the dog bit Jughead, Jughead turned into a zombie, and then he came to prom and started biting everybody, and basically that was the end of the world. Zombie apocalypse started in Riverdale at the prom.
I had no idea Sabrina the Teenage Witch was part of the Archie series.
Oh, yeah.
How did I not know that?
I mean, I don't know.
I'm not as big
You're
a
older
nerd
than
as
me.
you, apparently. Yeah.
That's true.
I'm not going to lie, dude. I own like 12 comic books total.
I got you beat.
Oh, yeah. And most of the ones I bought were like Superman comics that have something to do with newspapers.
See, I'm the biggest Batman fan.
You watched me buy them in Vegas,
I know,
actually.
It's true.
Yeah.
I love Batman. And so I actually own every issue of... So there's 2 comics that Batman comes in regularly in the Batman and Detective Comics. He actually originated in Detective Comics in issue 27 back in the day.
Was that when his folks died?
That would be... Well, they covered that in a subsequent issue later. But, but anyway...
Oh my God, guys, he's nerding out so bad.
I own every issue.
You should see him geeking right now.
I own every issue of Batman and Detective Comics that has come out since the month and year I was born.
Okay. I'll you know what? I'm going to give you a pass on that.
That's over 37 years worth.
But how does that explain the rest of them?
I mean, I like other stuff. There's some cool stuff in there.
But this is the guy that won't watch Big Bang Theory.
Because it's...
Go on.
I feel that Big Bang Theory is blackface for nerds. It's people that are not nerds that are pretending to be nerds, and I feel as though it's kind of making fun of the nerds in a roundabout way.
But being a nerd, I did not find that.
See, and that's the thing. You have the people that are like, well, it's glorifying nerds. It's a pro nerd thing.
It gave us a voice.
But you know what? I still don't. I don't. Not a fan.
Did you ever actually watch it?
I've seen episodes. My father-in-law's a huge Big Bang fan. I've seen plenty of episodes.
It's
just not It's not my thing. I don't hate it. I'm not going to go out and like rally against it or anything like that. I'm just not.
I mean, it's off the air now, so who cares?
Big into it.
I mean, Penny.
What are you talking about?
Penny, for the love of God.
What are you talking about? It's off the air. It's on every channel known to man in syndication.
True.
I could go turn on like the TV and find at least on TBS an episode playing right now.
Oh, absolutely.
That's assuming that it's not playing like Conan O'Brien or like one other thing. I mean,
well, they
Friends
usually
something.
like preempt Conan to put on Big Bang.
Oh, then there you go.
You're right. It pretty much plays 24/7 on
Mm-hmm.
TBS. No, the thing I liked about Big Bang Theory is it referenced a lot of the jokes referenced things that I understood, being slightly nerdy, slightly geeky, and I'm not gonna lie, I embraced it.
Good for you, Jeff.
But all of the comic book references and whatnot that they do in it, that should be right up your alley.
I felt like they were kind of there for me to be all like, hey, I know that. I can relate to this show.
That's exactly why I liked it.
And I didn't get into that.
Are you calling me a lemming?
No.
Yes. I don't know if we can be friends.
Anyway.
I don't know.
So anyway, how's your cigar there, bud?
Cigar's great.
That's good.
Any chance I get to have one of these.
There you go.
How's yours doing?
It's good. It's still got that kind of peppery creaminess going on.
Is that kind of an Oscar thing? Because, even on the, reading up on the cigar, it's considered a very mild, creamy cigar, and that's what it is. Is Oscar's tobacco known for that?
That I couldn't tell
you. Or
you.
did we just pick two that were?
Possibly. I mean, the app that I use that, again, I always kind of, tend to disagree with the strength notes, says that the Wild Hunter is more of a medium strength. So far,
I didn't find that when I smoked it.
I'm not getting that
No.
off of it, but maybe later on in the cigar. But for right now, I'm not getting a medium from it. I don't know.
So, do you have any Nell comics?
No, I don't. I don't think Nell had any comics.
She was part of the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
You keep trying to make that happen, and I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't think we've talked about this on the podcast.
Probably not.
Okay, so when the MCU Avengers Endgame, when it was coming out,
Yeah.
all these folks were sharing on Facebook this picture, and it was basically all the logos for all of the movies and in what order you should watch them. So I decided to be a
To get
smart
ready
ass.
to watch.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So, to be able to watch, like, Doctor Strange and, Iron Man and on down the list, Captain America and whatnot, and in which order you should watch them in so it all makes sense as you're preparing for Endgame. So, being the smartass I am, I decide that I'm going to make up my own version of this, and I added in movies like Nell and SpongeBob, the
Princess Bride.
Princess Bride. Well, that's integral.
Well, yeah, you have
The
to know.
Dread Pirate Roberts.
Yeah.
I mean, I love it.
Vital.
At the end, when he jumps out of that little circle thing, Doctor Strange makes, when the Dread Pirate Roberts
Staring down Thanos, just looks at him and says, you killed my name is Diego Montoya.
You killed my father, prepare to die.
Prepare to die.
Exactly.
Then he snaps and he just disappears.
Who played Inigo Montoya?
God, I don't know.
Now, he wasn't the Dread Pirate Roberts till the end of the movie. Did you know that?
Yeah, because the blonde dude was the Dread
Carrie
Pirate.
Ewells.
Yeah, he was the Dread Pirate Roberts.
Now, do you know who?
No, I just said I don't know.
You don't know.
No.
Oh.
Do you?
Who played the princess?
Oh, but that's the lady from House of Cards.
Robin Wright.
Robin Wright.
Well, Penn now.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I hate to even acknowledge that because I can't stand Sean Penn.
Ugh.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, no, that's disappointing.
Mandy Patinkin.
Mandy Patinkin?
Mandy Patinkin plays Inigo Montoya.
Okay, then.
I can't believe you didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Who plays the giant?
Andre.
The giant.
God.
Okay. Who's the old couple? The doctor.
Is this really what...
You just
I
nuked
just
yourself.
nuked myself
You
with the ash.
burned your new shirt.
Oh man, I didn't burn it, but
Thank heavens.
I did
I
party.
just
I did party foul.
I just
on it.
rubbed Nick's belly to put the fire out. It was way more touching than we're used to doing in an episode.
The rain has significantly increased.
Cats and dogs. Cats and dogs.
Well, it was Billy Crystal, and I can't remember the lady's name, but I know I've
Carol
seen
Kane?
her. Carol Kane.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I know I've seen her in like a ton of stuff.
I love The Princess Bride, dude. Now, it's funny. I'm going to reference a local show here in St. Louis, the Dave Glover Show.
Okay.
One of my favorite shows on the radio. It's on 97.1 in St. Louis. If you're ever in St. Louis or if you live in St. Louis, big shout out to the Dave Glover Show. But they were actually doing... What's that?
Because I'm sure they care. So.
Oh, you never know. So Glover's cool. He might even listen to this. So that being said, they were talking the other day, and they did their Sweet 16, and they had George Weber on from George Weber Chevrolet. You know, Skip is on. And they're doing, like, the Sweet 16 of, you know, like chick flicks. Well, the problem is The Princess Bride won. And it was all I could do not to call in and contest that, because The Princess Bride is not a chick flick. The Princess Bride is a guy's love story. The Princess Bride is a guy's movie, not a chick's movie.
It's true.
It is. It's a man's fairy tale.
Well, there you go. I don't disagree.
I don't know. Sorry I went off on that. I triggered.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Now we know what triggers Jeff.
Well, don't mess with The Princess Bride.
Princess Bride.
So anyway, it's part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Moving right along. I also had the Lego movie.
Even though Batman was in that.
Yes, the Batman Lego movie was. They put that in there. So I had so much fun with this, and I posted it on my Facebook wall. And the problem is, hardly anybody got it because they were so used to seeing the other one, they didn't look. But every once in a while, somebody says, "Nell." Nell's the movie that triggered everyone. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've used triggered like 8 times tonight. We'll have to add that to the bingo card.
Add that to the bingo card.
Yeah.
Well, there we go.
Do you have any Red comics?
No, but I am aware that was a comic. First.
That was a comic.
Yes.
You know what wasn't a comic?
What?
Unbreakable series.
It's true.
Yeah. It was not a comic. Should have been.
I haven't watched the last. I saw Unbreakable, but I haven't watched Split or Mr. Glass or whatever it is yet.
Well, it's funny because in Unbreakable, it actually is in some ways set in a comic book genre theme.
Well,
it talks about comic book art, but it's not actually a comic book.
I get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. Well, we've let my nerd flag fly quite a bit.
Well, I mean, it's hard for you to hide that.
At this point, that's for sure.
Yeah, true that. I mean, seriously, folks, this is... honestly, if there was like some sort of alien invasion, we could actually use these boxes to build a bunker.
I'll tell you, someday when I have ample amount of room, I'm going to have one heck of a nerd shrine. It'll be great. But
why?
Why not?
Okay, good point. I'll give you that one. It's just so many. What are the 5 series that you follow now?
Batman and Detective Comics, because I have to. Yeah, he just party fouled on himself.
I did, man. I just nuked myself. Burned through my new shirt, too.
There you go. Superman and its subsequent series, Action Comics, because, that's what I do. And the Justice League. So I'm all in on the DC. And I do float into Spider-Man, but right now there's a big crossover thing going on, and so since I don't follow the other books, I just kind of like drop out, and I'll kind of maybe float back into Spider-Man once the big crossover.
Does that have anything to do
on.
with the issues with like Sony and Disney? Or is that completely separate?
That's movie stuff, Jeff. Comic book stuff's all separate.
But Spider-Man's in the movies.
I get it, but again, it's all separate.
He's shaking. I wound him up so bad. I didn't say triggered that time.
I'm just kind of...
I mean, he was literally shaking when I brought that up.
I'm
Nick,
fidgety.
really...
I bounce my legs every once in a while.
You really get upset with me when I pick on nerddom.
You're not picking. I don't think you're picking.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm picking on you.
Yeah, a little bit.
That's a lot of comic books, dude. And they're all out here drawing moisture.
I'm aware. That bothers me.
It should.
Significantly.
You need a dehumidifier.
I know. It bothers me a lot. All right,
we've had a good 3 to 4 inches of rain tonight just during the podcast. Good Lord.
Well, it sounds like a lot more because it's dripping off the front of my garage door.
It is nice sitting out here, though. The weather's beautiful as far as the temperature.
I mean, temperature-wise, you couldn't beat it. It's just the weather, or the rain. But
I got to say, I'm still loving this leaf.
The Wild Hunter still has that creamy pepperiness. However, that is starting to maybe subside a little bit and to move into almost a bit of peppery, like earthiness or something like that. The pepper flavor is still keeping on, but the creaminess is starting to subside a little bit, just a little bit.
I'm nothing but creamy on this one. I'm not getting any pepper at all.
Oh,
This is a good smoke.
Well, there you go. So,
Leaf by Oscar.
well, you know what, folks? I think this is a pretty good point to say, or
We have an interview.
I think this is a pretty good point that we kind of segue into our interview. So, with that, we are going to go ahead and speak with Oscar Valladares at the Weston Tobacco Festival. Well, we are joined by Oscar Valladares. Oscar, very nice to see you again. We met a couple months ago at the Hill Cigar Company and did a little video, and it's good to see you again here at the Weston Tobacco Festival.
No, man, it's my pleasure. I think it's like 3 months ago.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was. It was 3 months ago when you came through, and I bought that the Alter Q.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are great cigars, by the way. I like that. A little spice to it and everything.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
A lot of sweetness, creamy, great flavor of the cigar.
Yeah. So, I want to take a little bit of time now to kind of talk a little bit about, introduce the listeners to you and your brand, and then talk about your new stuff, because you've had some really good new stuff come out lately. I know Jeff and I had reviewed the Superfly, and so I wanted to talk to you a little bit about that, and the Wild Hunter. So let's just kind of go back a little bit. I asked you at the Hill before, so but I'm going to ask again now. So your entrance into the cigar industry, can you kind of touch a little bit on that and kind of how you got going with your company?
Okay. Man, this is like, how many years ago? I don't know, like 20 more or less. I started working with Rocky Patel.
Okay.
Rocky bring a lot of groups from United States to Honduras, like cigar safaris. And I started working with Rocky. I driving a bus and I pick it up the people in the airport and I transportation the guys to the house in Dangli, Honduras. It's the tobacco city.
Yeah.
And I give the tours to the factory, to the farms, to the box factory, the whole process. So when I start like that, I don't have any idea about cigars.
Yeah.
But I really love it, all process. Every single day I learning something new. Great people in Honduras, people with a lot of experience. You have people right there, 40, 45 years experience in the tobacco. And I learning every single day. And, I start learning and learning and learning. And then I work for Rocky in the quality control and the packaging department. I love packagings, and, smoking cigars, learning fermentation, a lot of different stuff for 9 years.
Okay.
For 9 years, I'm doing like that. And then I opened my first company. I distribute Rocky Patel in Honduras, just Honduras.
Yeah.
The first year is really, really bad, man. There's no cigar stores in Honduras at that time. And I lost more money than what I make because I traveling a lot. There's no cigar stores. The souvenir stores don't have the humidors. So next year, coming with the idea and making 80 small humidors. And I put in every single restaurants, hotels, and the tourist areas, and my sales increase like crazy.
Wow.
So I start like that, and then Rocky say, man, I don't know what you're doing, but now you're my distributor for all Latin America and the Caribbean. So I start selling in Mexico, Guatemala, El Salvador, Venezuela, Aruba, San Martin, a lot of different places. And then, Cuban Cigars call me, and I take the distribution from Cuban Cigars and Dominican and Nicaragua, and I open 2 cigar stores in Honduras. And then 2011, I make the decision. I'm super busy. I give the tours to Rocky. I work in the quality control. I distribute in cigars, and I have 2 cigar stores.
Oh my gosh.
So that's a lot of work. And I talked to Rocky, and I said, man, I can do it anymore. I want a concentration in selling cigars. In 2011, the end of 2011, the story of the Mayans. The Mayans say it's the end of the war in 2012. And I love the tobacco from the Copan area in Honduras. Copan area is very close to the Mayans.
Okay.
And the Mayans smoke cigars. you know.
Yeah.
So I make my first brand 2012. That's super special cigar for me because 2012 I'm making only 2012 boxes, and I put one special cigar in the middle of the box.
Okay.
Exact. That's the first leaf I put in the market. Packaging with the leaf.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's one thing that I'm sure a lot of the listeners are they recognize of yours is the leaf by Oscar.
Yeah.
You know, where the cigar is actually wrapped instead of cellophane, it's wrapped in a tobacco leaf.
Exactly.
But you started this with the 2012.
Exactly. So that's the idea born in the 2012.
Okay.
Why? Because I put one special cigar. That cigar is covered with the leaf, and the label say to be smoked on December 21st. So that's the last cigar because the Mayan says the end of the world is in December 21st.
Yeah.
So that's the last cigar you're smoking in your life or you celebrate the new generation. When I'm making cigars, I like put story behind
Yeah.
and good cigar. So I start like that, and when I work for Rocky, I make a lot of people have cigar stores. And one of the guys, Island Jim, and he visited to me in Honduras, and he said, Oscar, wow, that's amazing idea, why you not making my house blend? So Jim had one store, the name is Leaf and Bean, and I start cover the cigar with the leaf and put the name Leaf and Bean like house blend.
Okay.
And then people asking for more and more and more, and different stores asking, and later it's going national. And I'm making a deal with Jim. Jim is in charge of the Leaf. He owns the Leaf by Oscar in the United States, and I own Leaf by Oscar in the rest of the world because it's my experience with another brands.
Yeah.
And man, I start my company with 2 people. 6 months later, I have 15. 8 months later is like 25,
Oh my God.
30. I don't have a space.
Yeah.
And then I moved to another factory. 1 year and a half later, it's 120 people.
Wow.
2016, I put the Oscar in the market, the Oscar Habano. The first time I played with Honduras and Nicaragua because in the leaf I use Honduran tobacco. And that cigar is, for me, is a winner. That cigar is number 9 in the top 25 by Cigar Journal in 2016. 2017, I am in Germany for the Festival of Cigar for all European market, and I have the trophy for the best Honduran brand. And the same year, Astros win the World Series in celebration with the Oscar.
Really?
So, man, that's amazing. And I put more brands in the market. A little bit story behind the brands, good quality, unique packaging. And now it's 220 people in the factory, 380 in the farms, and 75 in the box factory. And I opened my distribution center in Houston, Texas, and I distributing all my cigars for all the United States from Houston, and I selling in 25 countries.
Fantastic.
So,
So it's blown up for you then.
it's too fast, But I try to have it's because right now I'm growing more tobacco and have the quality of the tobacco, the consistency. Working really hard, but it's not only about me. I have a great team in Honduras. I have beautiful people making great cigars. You have happy people, you have happy cigars.
Yeah.
And a lot of experience. And, everything is about these people in Honduras. And, it's crazy. It's 25 countries and, 1,200 stores in the United States.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I've said to previously in some other episodes is that if I were introducing a new person, a non-smoker, to cigars, I've said it depends on who they are. If it's a female, I tend to lean toward the Tobacco Especial by Drew Estates because it's got that little sweetness and everything kind of to it. But if it's a female that's maybe not interested in an infused kind of sweet tobacco, or typically a guy, the 2012 is my go-to cigar to introduce people to cigars because I feel like, and you can correct me if I'm incorrect in my assessment here, I feel like it's a very nice, mellow, smooth smoke, and it's got the levels of complexity and everything to it, but it's not a very harsh, oppressive kind of thing that a brand new smoker is going to be like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm doing here. And so I just wanted to let you know the 2012 is my go-to cigar for introducing new people into cigar smoking if they're not leaning towards more of a flavored infused kind of experience and everything. So
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
It's because I make the cigar, When I really started smoking cigars, I start with Connecticut.
Yeah.
You have some Connecticut, uh, but for me, I need a Connecticut with flavor.
Yes.
Sweetness, a little bit creamy, good draw. Because, when you start smoking cigar, you want something smooth, creamy, good flavor, easy draw.
And you don't want to be pulling on it, and exactly, yeah.
Exactly. So I make that cigar for that, and also, with coffee, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So the flavor with coffee and that cigar is, I really love it. So I agree with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there we
100%.
go. Good. So, going back just a little bit, you were talking about the 2012 and how you wrapped it in the leaf and gave the instruction of smoke it on the 21st, and how you try and draw in a little bit of fun and interesting items into the packaging and everything, which now I want to circle to the Alter Q because I've talked about that on my Instagram before, and I know we talked about it in the YouTube video we did a couple months back. But the packaging and the history in that project is just amazing to me. And so I wanted, how did you come up with that and come about with that project?
I tell you, the tobacco from Copan, for me, I really love it, man. The tobacco from Copan is a Criollo 98, but it's a lot of flavor. And I'm very close to the Mayan ruins in Honduras. When I'm growing tobacco, I'm like 30 minutes from the Mayan city.
Yeah.
And I want to give something from the tobacco from Copan. Give me a lot for me, so I say I want to give something back. Like a little bit story behind. And the altar Q, it's altar for 16 kings. So that 16 kings domain the city. So every side of the box is 4 kings. So it's 16. And the box of cigar is 16 cigars. And every single king has one label. It's the same cigar, but 16 different labels and the names.
Precisely. You've got the different bands with different pictures of the kings and their names and whatnot. And so it's almost like this is kind of in a way like an altar or almost even, you could, not to go morbid with it, but almost like a tomb. And each one of the cigars would represent one of the 16 kings of this area.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the blend is Honduras, Bander, and fillers. And I put Sumatra wrapper from Ecuador. And that cigar I love the cigar, man.
It's great. Like I said, it's got a little spice to it and everything. It's a fantastic cigar.
It's not aggressive, but a lot of flavor. What I like making my cigar, I want, easy draw, good flavor, good power. And, no aftertaste. It's clean palate, and really you have all flavors from the tobacco from Copan. So I really love that.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. You have 2 new cigars on the market right now that you're promoting. The Superfly, which, like I said, Jeff and I have smoked on one of our previous episodes. It's a much darker. It's probably easily, I'd say, the darkest cigar that your company has put out.
Yeah, that cigar is very special for me. Every cigar I make is very special for me because I put, a lot of work and a lot of ideas and a story behind.
Yeah.
That cigar is the first time I use Honduras, Nicaragua, and Dominican in the filler.
Okay.
Bander Honduras and a Mexico San Andres wrapper. So it's 3 different sizes. A little bit more bigger than the Corona, regular Corona, so I put Super Corona. The Toro is 6x54, so Super Toro. And Gordo, 6.5 by 60, so Super Gordo. And I love the cigar.
Yeah, that's the one I always go to is the Super. I prefer the larger ring gauges, so yeah, the Super Gordo, man. That's the one I go to with that one. So
and that cigar is amazing right now. How the response for the consumers.
Oh.
It's amazing. I try to put something from the 70s with the music, a little bit story behind.
A little funk, yeah.
Yeah. And that cigar is strong. My idea, is when you like heavy rock, you like, something like, when I listen heavy rock, I want something strong, you know. But in that time, I said, no, put something like funky and, relaxing and, and works.
Yeah. No, it's a fantastic cigar. And then the other one that you guys have out now is the Wild Hunter, which we have not reviewed on the show, but I've had a couple, and I know Jeff's had a couple, and we really both enjoy it. So why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Man, that is a pure Honduran tobacco. Again, right now I'm growing tobacco in Hamastran area in Honduras. So I use tobacco for different farms in Honduras for that cigar. And in my company, I have two partners. One is Byron Duarte. He's my friend for many, many years. He worked in 20 years in the tobacco business. And my brother. And actually, my brother said, man, he like hunting. So he said, I like guns and these, you thinking, and these. So put all ideas together and put in the market right now. A great cigar, great packaging.
That packaging stands out like mad, man. You got the camouflage, but you got that hunter orange, logo going on and everything. I mean, yeah, that packaging, it pops. And when you're looking at all the rest of the stuff on the shelf,
yeah, the packaging is amazing, and the cigar is really, really good right now. Again, the response for the consumers, I want to say, man, thank you for all consumers, man. It's amazing how the response for the consumers. I'm here in the event, today, and
you guys had a good day here.
Amazing day, man. The response for the people, it's amazing when I come in here and like people say, oh, Oscar, and I love your cigars and I smoke this and this and this and like, wow, it's amazing.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on, I know, with government regulation and this and that and whatever else. Where do you see your company and maybe in a larger picture the cigar industry in maybe the next 5-10 years?
That's hard to tell you, man. Nobody knows what's going on right now. Actually, I have a new company,
Yeah.
But I tried the lawyers working in that area.
Yeah.
I concentration in making good cigars, and also right now I coming 3 days ago. I coming back from Europe.
Okay.
Big festival of Germany, and I selling in 25 countries in Germany too. So I try to have. I don't know what's going on, but I try to open more markets.
Yeah, diversify up a little bit. Yeah.
Exactly.
No,
yeah.
That's fantastic. Well, Oscar, thank you very much for taking time out of your day to come and talk to us. And I'm sure we'll cross paths again here, thanks to Corey. He brings you around quite a bit. So
No, man, thank you very much for, anytime. And thank you for everything. And I want to say thank you for the consumer, man. That's, for me, it's amazing how the response for the consumers. So thank you, everybody. Smoke Oscar Cigars. Appreciate it. And I want to tell you something. Next year, I want to start bringing groups to Honduras.
Oh, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
Kind of bring the tours like you did for Rocky.
Yeah. So I wanna, the first group, I wanna drive the bus like I driving like 9 years ago.
Yeah.
So I wanna drive the first group, I wanna drive the bus, and I wanna give the tours. Actually, I have coffee plantation too, so I wanna include like coffee and cigars.
Yeah.
And you can see from the seed, from fermentation, from how making the cigars. Actually, the leaf I'm making with organic paper.
Okay.
So it's a small community of single moms in Honduras making organic paper. So I want to bring the groups there and see how making the organic paper. And, a lot of cigars, good food, and a lot of fun. And, I'll start next February.
That's fantastic. So do you have, information for people about that already?
The information is on my website.
It's on your website.
Yeah, it's Oscar at oscartobacco.com.
Yeah.
I think I want to put all details like December, the end of December.
Yeah.
Because I have a lot of people asking right now.
I was going to say, throwing something like that out there, I'd imagine the wait list is already starting to form up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's good time right now. Honduras is safe. It's amazing people, great food, great cigars, great coffee, So I want to start with that tour.
That sounds like a great idea. I know Jeff and I would be in on that. So there
Absolutely.
You go. So perfect. Well, everybody, take a look for how you can go down and tour the factories with Oscar down in Honduras on his website. And go out and definitely find yourself a Superfly and a Wild Hunter and any other cigar from the Oscar line. Oscar, thank you very much again.
My pleasure, man. Thank you
All
very
right,
much.
thank you.
Okay.
Well, we really want to thank Oscar for taking some time out to speak with us at the Weston Tobacco Festival. He's always really gracious to talk with us whenever we see him.
Actually, the second time we've interviewed him.
It is. We referenced that in our conversation at Weston, but
Yep.
yeah, we initially met Oscar back in, when would that have been? Probably would have been about I'm thinking July-ish.
I think it was earlier. I think May or June.
I'm thinking, no, it wasn't, because I had already started the Cigar Pulpit, and I didn't start that until mid-July.
Okay.
So I'm thinking it was sometime in July. We weren't going very long.
Because all we did
met
then,
Oscar.
we did a YouTube video.
We did. We recorded a quick little YouTube video.
We were still feeling out how we
Still
were going
trying
to go.
to figure out what we were up to. Exactly.
Looking for our way.
Looking for the way.
Yep.
And so we filmed a little YouTube video, threw that up. That is available on our YouTube channel right now. Just search for Cigar Pulpit. Subscribe and follow us.
You can even see my finger at one point where I stick it in front of the lens.
This is the kind of professional quality videos you're going to get from us, folks.
That's what you come to expect
Jeff
from Nick and Gator.
jamming his finger in the lens. So
It's very subtle and very fast, but I did do it.
you did do it.
Yeah,
So.
I did. So
And I didn't want to do microphones because we had these lapel mics that were wired, and so for the shot you would have had these wires draping off of us and like swooping forward at Jeff.
I begged him
halfway
to do the
across
microphones,
humidor.
but
So I mean,
but as it turns out, it didn't matter because we got another shot at interviewing Oscar. He could not be nicer. We had so much
he's
fun
such
that
a
night
nice
with
guy.
him.
I know.
We hung out, guys, and I know we've geeked out about this in the previous episodes, but we got to hang out with these guys that night and had a blast.
Yeah, Oscar cracks me up.
Yeah, Oscar's funny.
He is.
Yeah,
So-
he's a great guy. Now, before we move on, Nick, I got to ask. So, do you have any of the Japanese comics?
No,
You're not into any of that anime stuff?
I haven't gotten into the Japanese stuff.
Okay. Any of that, none of that.
If you're looking for sexy comics, Jeff, I don't have any.
Okay. That's what I
Okay.
was, I
Yeah.
was gonna
Yeah.
see if I could borrow
Go
7 or 8 boxes of those.
go elsewhere. Anyway.
I mean, you know what we should do? On a day when
God.
it's nice out, we need to take these boxes and basically build like an igloo out of them and take a picture.
On a day that it's
That would
nice
be
out, I want to
blast.
clean my garage
Well,
out.
yeah,
Is
we
what
could
I
make
wanna
an igloo
do.
out of them on your driveway and then take a picture of us in your, comic igloo.
I mean, we could do that.
We
I do have
should.
enough to make an igloo.
Not could,
Although,
should.
if it collapses, I'm going to die.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, we would never be able to dig our way out of this.
No. It's like that episode of Simpsons when the newspapers fall on Principal Skinner and everybody thinks
Yes.
that Bart killed him.
Yes.
And he had to dig himself out with a rope and a rocket and all that. Yeah. It'd be like that, only we would just die.
Yeah. Nobody would come looking for
Nobody would
us.
come and look
and we
for
don't
us.
have a rocket or a
Boy,
rope.
I'm just throwing out all kinds of nerd tonight
I
between
know.
the comics and my Simpsons and yeah.
I was
All right,
sitting with Addie last night watching the Treehouse of Horrors
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah.
They're playing a marathon of that right now, and we
Okay.
were watching that last night. It was great.
I love those.
She's like, why do they have so many of these? Because it was the marathon. And I'm like, oh, honey, they do one every year. And I'm thinking for the last 87 years that
Yeah,
it's
I know,
been
right?
on. So we met Oscar at the Hill for the first time.
We did. We met Oscar for the Hill at the first time.
And speaking of the Hill, there's a little tidbit you need to throw out.
So right
A
now,
little shout out.
well, not right now because they closed about 23 minutes ago. But earlier this evening, one of our listeners and friends of the show, the Gold Coast gentleman, Andy, was at the Hill Cigar Company tonight. He was in town for business and had messaged me to see if I could come up and meet him for a stick. And unfortunately, I was unable to.
You had other obligations. You were on Mr. Mom duty tonight.
I was on Mr. Mom duty tonight, so my wife and her sister had some prior plans, and so I was watching my 3-year-old son. He had his soccer lesson tonight, which basically consisted of him running over to a ball, picking it up with his hands, running over to the goal, setting it down right in front of the goal, and kicking it in.
Well, okay.
So
then.
he at least got the concept of kicking the ball into the goal. the rest of the time he's running around like it's football.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he's got.
Now, if he's still doing that when he's like 17,
yeah, I
then
don't
you
know.
got a problem.
I don't know if I've got the next Pele here.
Yeah.
You know, but that's okay.
Hey, you never know. Get him on a traveling team, spend a lot of money.
Maybe.
All these people are
or
convinced
not.
their kids are going to be
I know.
superstars, you know.
Or not. So
I'm picking on the traveling teams now. Look at me.
I know. So, but anyway, so no, Andy hung out over at the Hill. Got to meet Jess, and she introduced him to Tim and to Jody and everybody in the lounge, and apparently told them all that he was there by recommendation of Nick and Gator. So
That's awesome.
I know, right? And from all accounts that he gave me, he had a fantastic time. They recommended him.
Well, how do you not have a good time at the Hill?
Oh yeah, no, they recommended that he get himself a nice Southern draw. He got the Jacob's Ladder Brimstone cigar.
Ooh, I haven't had that.
I know, right?
Yeah, that's one to look forward to.
And he got that, and he actually specifically said on his Instagram that he's visiting the Hill Cigar Company in St. Louis based on the recommendation of the Cigar Pulpit. And he says if you're in St. Louis, you need to check out this lounge. The people are super friendly, and the humidor is fantastic.
He's right on all counts.
And on all counts, he is dead on. So we want to thank the Gold Coast gentleman for taking the time out on his trip through St. Louis to go visit our favorite little cigar store there. And
It is. It's
give
the
them
home
a try.
store.
It is the home store.
If you're back in town again, give us a day or two notice, and we'll see what we can do to meet you over there.
Most definitely.
Yep. Because we can always record from there.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
I think that needs to happen.
I think that needs to happen anyway, especially into the winter time, because at some point the weather is going to turn in such a way that the current Nick and Gator studios of my deck and your deck are not going to be viable recording.
No, mine's at least
for us.
covered.
Yeah, but it's still going to be really cold.
Still going to be cold. So we're going to need to find an indoor facility. And heaven knows we can't go to the tinderbox because all you're going to hear is the slot machines.
Slot machines in the background.
Yeah, we're not getting an endorsement there, are we?
No, I think we've pretty much just pissed that away.
Burned that bridge, as it were. Well, how's your cigar?
It's good. Still getting that kind of earthy, peppery going on.
This thing is just cream all the way through. Yeah, like I said, the leaf is one of my top 5. Okay, so, Nick, we've been rambling all over the place tonight. We've talked about your comics and whatnot. Let's drop into the mailbag.
So we do have one new review via Apple Podcasts coming to us from Corey Alvord. The review says, great info, not a cramming sales pitch like many.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you very much,
agree.
Corey.
I thought that was very nice of Corey. I met Corey at the Kentucky Barn Smoker.
Oh,
He's a
cool.
super nice guy.
So anyway, tonight's episode is sponsored by...
Yeah, so we are partnered up with mymonthlycigars.com. So for those of you folks that...
Oh, wait, is this a sales pitch? Oh.
Maybe.
Oh.
So, we have partnered with mymonthlycigars.com. As we continually say, we are big supporters of brick and mortar. However, mymonthlycigars.com, another subscription box, offers a way to try some cigars at a reasonable price at your home once a month. Shipment comes, gives you a handful of cigars depending on how many you order. You try them out. Let's say you really like one or two of them, and it gives you the opportunity to then go to your brick and mortar and say, hey, I really liked this cigar. Get me more of them. Because the last thing in the world you want to do is go to your brick and mortar and say, hey, I've heard about this cigar. Get them in. They get them in, and you buy like one and decide you don't like it, and now they're stuck with a whole box.
Absolutely.
So this gives you the option of doing that. So mymonthlycigars.com, they offer multiple subscription levels. They have one that's 2 cigars for $20. They have one that's 4 cigars for $30, and then they have one that's 8 cigars for $50, which is a really good deal for maybe you and a buddy, because the 8 cigars, it's two of each of the cigars that are in the 4 cigar box. So it's essentially like buying 2 of the $30 boxes for $50. So you save $10.
Good deal.
And
you type in pulpit.
Yeah, so when you go to mymonthlycigars.com and place your order, use the offer code pulpit, PULPIT, and that gets you 10,
Is that PULPIT?
PULPIT.
PULPIT. Pulpit.
Isn't that what I said?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
Just reiterating.
I don't know. I'm just making
driving
sure.
the point home.
All right. Pulpit.
That's
and,
right. Nobody's going to forget it now.
Oh, no. And that'll get you 10% off your order in the store. So they have other items as well as the subscription boxes. But it'll get you 10% off of an order in the store, or it will get you free shipping off of your first subscription box.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Well, Nick, I really appreciate you having me over tonight. I know we sat in the garage. It's a beautiful night. It's finally stopped raining now that we're done recording.
Yeah, but my deck would have been soaked. So
it would have been brutal.
We still
and we'd have
been able to-
electrocuted ourselves with the headsets and the
we
soundboard.
still would not have been able to record outside.
No.
So
You know, we nearly died, by the way, at Weston Cigar Festival when that lightning hit.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. That
Dude,
yeah.
if you go back to that podcast,
You can hear it.
You can hear the pop right before I react to that lightning strike. If you listen very closely, folks, you can hear the pop in our equipment when that lightning struck, and it was really, really close. And the thing about it is the outlet that we were using. I have a power strip that I plug into, or all of our equipment into when I plug into the wall, and the power strip has two lights on it. One indicates that the power strip is getting power. The other indicates that it is grounded. That outlet was not grounded.
No.
And so we very, very likely, with one good lightning strike, not only could have nuked all of our equipment,
But us.
but probably us as well.
Because the lightning would have just went right in between the two
Which, at least for
earpieces.
one of us, I mean, it's just empty space.
Don't put yourself down.
Anyway.
See, that's the quick wit that we're looking for here on the Cigar
Right?
Pulpit Podcast.
That's the easy shot.
It was an easy shot. I took it. Never let it be said I won't take an easy shot.
Mm-hmm.
Well, folks, we really do appreciate you listening. I mean, more than you can ever know. Tell your friends about us. And, Nick, how do they get us on the socials?
So you can find us on Instagram at The Cigar Pulpit. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter. And then you can find us on YouTube, Cigar Pulpit. And finally, you can email me at nick@cigarpulpit.com.
Good stuff. Please give us reviews. Let us know what you think. Let us know if you've got a cigar that you'd like us to do a review on. We've had some of those so far, and we've
We have.
done them. The one especially we were split down the middle on.
Oh, the
Psycho.
the Psycho 7.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a listener recommendation or request, and when we finally did smoke it, it was divided.
Yes.
Definitely divided.
We were house divided.
It was the only cigar so far that I think you and I have had such differing opinions on.
Yeah, it really was.
So,
But you're going to have that. Everybody has a different palate, and, you know, like we've talked about before, your palates evolve and change, and, you know, the cigar you liked 2 years ago may not be the cigar you like now. So there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody's got their own tastes.
well, in the next episode, we're going to have our final interview from the Weston Tobacco Festival.
That thing was the gift that keeps on giving.
I'll tell you what, there were lots and lots of people there, so that was really nice. So next week, we are talking about Elohio cigars.
Based out of
And
Wichita, Kansas, I believe.
I think, yes, I believe you're right. So yeah, so next week we are going to be talking about Elohio cigars. We spoke with one of the owners of Elohio,
We did.
Roselyn.
Very
is her
nice
name.
lady.
Very nice lady. And Roselyn gave us a brief interview, and so we're going to play that for you. But in addition to that, we purchased a sampler pack from her that had about, 5 or 6?
I think there were 6 cigars
Six
in
cigars
it.
in
But
it.
then, yeah, it was...
Yeah, so
They're all different.
Yeah, they are all different. So next week we will be also smoking different cigars again. So it's going to be kind of hard for us to kind of give you a little bit of a peek into what we're going to be smoking at that point. And that one might be kind of hard for some of you to get a hold of because I believe she told me that Elohio is currently available at like 60 shops in the country. So some,
A little more specialized
but
cigar.
not a ton.
Yeah.
It's very boutique. So, you know, it's one of those things. But yeah, we are going to be smoking the Elohio cigars next week on Tuesday. And then starting back on Friday, we will try and coordinate up our cigars so that y'all can join in with us.
Absolutely.
As we enjoy
And we've heard from people they're doing that, and
Yeah.
it's kind of
And
fun
so
to sit and smoke along.
it is, and that's part of. So going back briefly, that is something that we're talking with My Monthly Cigars about, is the prospect of teaming up with them a little further, so that we can kind of make their 4 cigar monthly box, the Nick and Gator, the cigar pulpit box, to where basically like, you guys go on My Monthly Cigars, you get the 4 cigars for $30. That will be essentially the care package of what we will be smoking, and then that
At
way,
least
at least in
some,
4
yeah.
of the episodes throughout that month, and then that way, you can have at least half of the cigars that we're smoking that month delivered to you, and right there, ready for you to go when you fire up the new podcast.
Absolutely. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in and listening. Again, tell your friends. We'd love to have them all listen to the cast as well.
And tell your enemies, because they might find us really stupid and
As many
obnoxious.
do.
As true.
As
So
many do.
anyway,
Final thoughts on the cigar?
final thoughts on my cigar. I like it. The earthiness is still kind of there. The pepper is still kind of there. I'm just kind of enjoying it, and I mean, I would definitely smoke the Wild Hunter again. I will say, I think of the 2 new products that Oscar came out with, the Superfly and the Wild Hunter, they are fairly different from one another. The Superfly is definitely a very darker, heavier, kind of smoke than,
If I'm not
than
mistaken,
the
we
Wild
did
Hunter.
that on an earlier cast.
We did do that on an earlier cast. I think I prefer the Superfly over the Wild Hunter, but that's not to say that the Wild Hunter is not good.
I've
It's just-
never not
It's just a preference of mine,
never not enjoyed a cigar by Oscar.
and that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's a quality line, quality product. Great guy.
Yeah,
So, I've been really enjoying this Connecticut. It is just fabulous. It's creamy. I'm down to the nub now, and it has not changed up on me. It has been consistent throughout, and I'm loving it.
well, there you go.
Guys, thanks again.
Well, perfect. Well, guys, this has been another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm Nick, and that's Gator, and we are signing off. Stay smoky, everybody.